What if the screen you stare at for comfort could twist reality itself and bend your sanity? Imagine an anime so disturbing that every frame feels alive, every sound crawls into your head, and every episode leaves scars you cannot erase. This is not just entertainment. It is an experience that will haunt your waking hours and infect your dreams. Stay until the end, because once you enter these distorted visions, you may never see the world the same way again. It began innocently, the way all obsessions do. A student stumbled across an online forum late at night, a thread hidden deep within pages of forgotten conversations. It spoke of a lost anime series, one banned decades ago for reasons no one could agree upon. Some said it contained subliminal messages. Others whispered it drove animators to madness during production. Intrigued, he followed the links, broken and corrupted, until finally a torrent loaded. A single folder with 3 episodes, each unnamed, each with timestamps burned into their titles. The first episode opened with static, then slow, droning music that seemed to vibrate inside his skull. At first, the story appeared harmless. Characters in a school, voices distorted, faces blurred. But the longer he watched, the more wrong everything became. The background shifted between frames, hallways elongated, windows pulsed like veins. By the time the ending credits rolled, he realized there was no music anymore, only a low hum echoing through his apartment. The second episode was worse. Characters spoke in riddles, their mouths moving seconds before the voices reached his ears. Scenes cut abruptly to black screens filled with spirals, numbers, and whispers in languages he could not recognize. He swore he saw his own reflection appear in the glass of a classroom window, staring back at him, blinking out of sync. The protagonist of the anime grew paranoid, drawing distorted images on walls, whispering to shadows, and claiming there was something living between the frames. Every time the camera cut, the student watching felt a rush of cold air, as if the room itself shifted with the edits. His heart pounded, his skin prickled, and yet he could not stop. He paused once to get water, only to notice his reflection in the kitchen faucet staring directly at him, mouth open in a scream he could not hear. Terrified, he shut his laptop, but the audio continued to play, faint whispers rising from the speakers even though the screen was dark. The third episode was the breaking point. It opened with the scene of the protagonist sitting in his bedroom, identical in layout and decoration to the student's own room. Posters, desk, window, everything matched perfectly. His breath caught in his throat as the protagonist looked directly at the camera and said words that chilled him. "You should not have watched this." The walls of the animated bedroom began to melt, colors dripping like paint, until only spirals remained, stretching endlessly into darkness. The protagonist reached forward, his hand glitching, stretching unnaturally through the screen. The student fell back as his laptop emitted a piercing frequency that rattled every bone in his body. He tried to shut it off, but the power button did not respond. The episode played on, the distorted hand reaching further, shadows pooling on the floor of his room. When the screen finally went black, the laptop snapped shut on its own. He swore he heard laughter echoing inside the room, laughter that did not belong to him. The student never logged back into that forum. His friends noticed changes. He rarely spoke. His eyes darted to corners of the room as though something watched him. Weeks later, his laptop was found abandoned in an alleyway, its surface etched with spirals. The anime files had vanished, leaving only one corrupted video that repeated the same phrase, "You cannot unsee what has been seen." If you felt the chill in your spine while listening to this story, remember, some shows are not meant to be watched. Distorted visions can linger long after the credits roll. Subscribe, like, and share this story if you want more nightmares that blur the line between fiction and reality. And make sure to watch the other terrifying tales appearing on your screen right now, if you dare.